Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I just want to get one gunshot on that. This one is about T.I. calling 50 Cent out in the Verzuz, says that he will destroy him. 50 responded by showing an old clip of T.I. doing something that he don't agree of to give the answer to why there would never be a T.I. verse 50 Cent. But before we get into that, I just want y'all to understand that I'm going to break down the 90s code and why the stop snitching existed. All right? You'll understand when you see 50's response, but until then, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. All right?
Keep it going, 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 keep it going. Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio. I like the way it's going down.
All right, you know what it is, Unique Mecca audio, man. We're going to break this down. But before I get in it, I want to just say that back in the 90s, the streets ran off of self-governance. Let that sink in. That means no calling the police. Let's get that straight, you know. No outside intervention. Handle it in-house. I mean, if something happens on the street, you handle it on the street. That's how the 90s ran. And I got locked up in 93 and came home in 2020. So I'm not stuck back in the 90s, but I want y'all to understand that what's happening now today on the street is the same way we carried it in the 90s. But now we have internet dudes crossing over trying to give street code breakdowns. And that's where we have the breakdown at. Stop snitching wasn't about being tough. It was about survival. Cops weren't seen as protection. They were seen as a threat back in the 90s. Now in 2026, they're protection. It's safe out. But like I said, stop snitching wasn't about being tough. It was survival, man. Meaning, you know, snitches get stitches. You know what I mean? The message to the youth back then was simple. Once you bring the law in, everybody must pay. Now, this is the jewels for the youth, right? Before I play this video, I'm going to show you where T.I. calls out 50 Cent. So bear with me, watch this to the end. A whole lot of jewels coming up. And we're going to do a lot of riding. The message to the youth back then was simple. Once you bring the law in, everybody pays. And the jewel for that is that code was born from mistrust, not morality. And mistrust always comes with a price. Now let's ride into the video. You think about that. All right, let's go.
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke though.
Oh, Lord.
I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? Today's episode is sponsored by Pure Confidence because T.I. woke up and said, yeah, I want to see 50 Cent in a Verzuz. He didn't whisper it. He didn't tweet it. He said it out loud on Nightcap. That's right, in front of Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco. That's like calling someone out to fight in front of security. So T.I. pulls up to Nightcap, chilling, talking hip-hop, legacy, Verzuz. And then out of nowhere, he goes, I said who I wanted. I called out 50.
I was supposed to go, and then goddamn, when I was talking to Swiss, you know, I was like, shit, man, yeah, I'd do it. But, you know, really, that really would be the one. It ain't gonna happen. But if Gucci, you young and Gucci, that's the one. And then he hit me back. He was like, shit, Tip, don't even trip. I think we're gonna get Gucci to do it. I said, well, you don't need me then. But that's the one.
Hold up,
you know what I mean?
But didn't Jeezy and Gucci already?
No, they were before it happened.
Oh, okay, before it happened.
Before it happened, they were talking to me.
Okay. But I'm saying, so right now.
And then I called my man. I said who I wanted.
You want Weezy?
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though.
Oh, Lord.
Yo, 50 don't want no smoke, T.I. said.
I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool. So
Now, check it out, Rock. So we're gonna have to get back in the street code so y'all understand. I'm gonna use this as a tutorial right now. This ain't to disrespect nobody. It ain't to disrespect T.I., ain't to disrespect 50 Cent. We don't do none of that over at the Mecca. Now, the state pushed back when they had that stop snitching movement, right? Now, this is why Crime Stoppers was created. And a matter of fact, let me show you 50 Cent response first so you understand what's going on. All right?
Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel.
See, so that's what the issue is, so you understand with 50 and T.I., right? 50 saying he's not going up there, you know, with a rat bastard. You know, that's just 50 saying. I'm not saying it. I'm just, you know, translating so y'all understand. And we're going to get back to this video and we're going to show you more reasons why 50 feel the way he feel. All right. So 50 responds by showing a video of T.I., you know, saying call the police. And it's a time when T.I. was the hottest rapper out in Atlanta, when he was the king of the South. Do y'all think, put this in the comments. I got to put that up there. Put this in the comments, right? After seeing that video, and no, I know this is 2026, but I want y'all to be honest, because different generations, different age brackets is going to have a different answer. But this is just to get, you know, a ruling and get some comments going so y'all could talk amongst yourselves. Now, do you still consider T.I. king of the South after he ran with the Crime Stoppers called the police when he was talking about slinging dope, shooting, and every goddamn thing else? And then he go up there and what's his name, T.I.? And then he go up there with, and they call him what, Tip? And then he said, Crime Stoppers call crime tips. You think about that and y'all let me know. Do y'all still consider T.I. as the king of the South after you know that he went that route? So we know he's no longer a part of the street. T.I. is a businessman. Let's give him a round of applause for being a businessman. You know, but we talking about two different T.I.s right now. You know, we're talking about, relax, y'all, relax, man. Man, we talking about T.I., the businessman today. But right now, we're talking about T.I., that king of the South, hood legend, when Jeezy was writing about putting the dope in his auntie house. We talking about that T.I. We ain't talking about the T.I. with Tiny in the show with the son and the kids going through it now. You know, let's hope the family get that together with the young man. But I'm just keeping it 100. And T.I., you understand what I'm doing. I got to make sure the youth really understand where we at, because you know, you was like a caterpillar and now you're a butterfly, and you done elevated into the business world as a father and a grandfather now. So your whole mindset is different. We got that, but let's keep it 100, T.I. Back in the day when you did that Crime Stopper joint, right? You think that was right? Or did that suit your purpose to get out of those artillery charges that you had? Do you think that was right? Because bottom line, you did it. So from the street code point of view, you know it. You can't dispute it. Today, you might try and dispute it with today's logic. But back then, if someone else did it, what would you call them? You wouldn't call them a rat bastard, T.I.? For standing up, telling the very people that you have been talking to and tell them how gangster you are. Call the police. We know, and let me say this for the record so y'all fully understand, today in 2026, that's the right thing to do, because let's hope that, you know, all my subscribers is law-abiding citizens. And as a law-abiding citizen, you see a crime, by all means, call Crime Stoppers, call T.I. even. You know what I mean? But call somebody. But now, for the ones that's still on the street, how do you think they view that? When they comrades say, we're going to go do this crime to get this bag, and he gets caught, and then he tells on you. See, a rat never hurts anyone, right? Until that rat tells on them, you know, or even someone close to them. And 9 times out of 10, no matter how close anybody is, you don't care who ratting on who now in 2026. Back then, like we said, stitches get stitches. Now, right? The state pushed back with the Crime Stoppers. Like I said, the government saw stop snitching as a problem. Remember when everybody was yelling stop snitching? The government seen that as a problem, right? Homicides was unsolved, witnesses were being silent, and cases was falling apart, right? Their answer wasn't force, it was rebranding. So who better to rebrand than the king of the South that got caught up in some real gangster problems? And right now he don't want to give up the crown and give up the bag, so we know we could get him on our side so he could talk to the youth. And here it is, what is it, 30 years later now, 20 years later, whatever it is, 25 years later. And now 2026 is sitting here. Gangsters is talking about calling the police. Gangsters are telling on their sons. Gangsters go to help the son commit a crime, try and help conceal the crime by burning the clothes for the son and picking him up, then saying, oh, I didn't know he was doing it, but you knew your son was out to get blood for you and your son being ambushed. And then he called you, found out when you saw what was going on, Mr. Father, you should have just said, man, I'm done with it. I'm out of here. I don't want no parts of this. But no, you took him home and then you took the clothes and you went and burnt the clothes. And then now you're saying that, oh, I didn't know you knew, dog. You're the king. I know you was the man down there, but no disrespect. You already know when you take the stand, you lose everything. You still got your heart. You're still you're still a human, but you're no longer a man standing on man time. And anybody could unalive somebody. We know that. And this is not a shot to you either, Mr. Father, but you know somebody told you that they was going to tell on their son before you was put in that situation. How would you feel? How would you react? What would be your answer? That's what I want to know, right? The answer, like I said, by the state wasn't forced. It was anonymous tips, pun intended. Cash rewards, no courtroom exposure. They didn't need none of that. That's where Crime Stoppers came in. You're not snitching, you're helping, is what they said. You breaking the law and you say you're going to get your man life in jail, but you're not snitching on him. You're helping the problem. Your comrade, your crimey that you decided to break the law with and got caught should go to jail for the rest of his life, but we're going to let you go. And don't look at it like you're telling, just look at it like you're helping. And when a rat bastard get cornered, he says whatever the person with the upper hand has for him to say. Like I said, when this is for the youth, right? When the rules don't work, the system changed the language. When the rules don't work, the system changed the language. So they changed the language and took it away because they knew snitching wasn't working. You can't call a rat a rat. Prosecutor, no, he can't say, yo, I need you to rat on your friend. I need you to snitch on your friends. So the prosecutor said, I need you to help me incarcerate your friend who has broken the law, but we're going to forgive you. But we need your help in incarcerating your friend who broke the law, and we forgive you. So we're going to speak up for you in court. Now, why T.I. became the face, and this is not, disrespect. It's just context. So this is not to disrespect T.I. I'm just giving it to you raw, and somebody got to tell it to you, man. Make sure you share this video. Hit the like button. Put it in the comments if you like the commentary or whatever. Make sure you hit the like button, and I know you like the ride. My little ride button want to act up today. I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, there she go. So we riding, But now, check it out. Why T.I. became the face, and this is no disrespect, right? they enter T.I. into this, right? The major influence, the street credibility that he had. The youth was listening when he spoke. So who better to get than someone that the youth is going to listen to? That's the same way they went and got, what's his name? They used Malcolm X because Elijah Muhammad felt like he was too old for the younger people to listen to. So he went and got, Elijah Muhammad, who's the one that was better connected and close to the people. So they went and got T.I. right for his street credibility, right? They knew the youth was listening. After his Atlanta weapons case, the state made a move, not to destroy him, but to use the moment, right? He became the bridge, the street voice, right? The state's message, talking to the kids about choosing a different path. This wasn't about clowning T.I. It was about optics and influence. They knew the influence he had on the youth. Now, this is not disrespect anybody. I'm even gonna put my number up there. If T.I. or anyone feel disrespected, feel free to call me as a man. And if I say something that's wrong, I don't have a problem getting on here and correcting that. But what I'm saying is facts about what the street code is. That's all I'm talking about. I don't care about the individuals. See, if T.I. wants to battle 50 Cent. 50 Cent said, nah, you's a rat. I'm not even getting on stage with you. Then I'm gonna show you in the rest of the video in a minute where 50 Cent went on, to come on stage, but then he had Jay-Z up there and he had Diddy up there and 50 running around in circles, letting them know, man, I'm bigger than all of y'all. And he tapping his chest and he's letting them know, nah, never will, I do nothing with y'all. Because 50 looked at them as, pedos. And he looked at you as a rat. And the crazy part is because 50 haven't been vocal about it, haven't been attacking you, because 50 stay in his place until you say his name out of context. Right? So being that 50 was sitting there minding his business, and then now you threw his name out there and he's like, yo, you know better than that. You one of them. I just tolerate you and you're in the industry and I keep you over there and I'm way over here wherever I'm at in my mansion. But that don't by any means mean that we friends or business partners. But then again, let's ride. Because it goes twofold. Because no disrespect to 50, but I got to say this too. 50 done exposed Meech, said that Meech is allegedly a rat. I don't want to disrespect Meech either, right? And then he's also working with, I think, the Ochoa brothers. And those are known rats. You know what I mean? But then 50 Cent made a post saying that Atlanta's picking and choosing. But my question is, y'all put in the comment, do y'all think 50 is picking and choosing? Because he don't want to work with this rat, but he'll work with this rat. This is a trying times right here. And right now we know 50 Cent is the king and T.I. is the king. But 50 say, nah, I'm still on man time. I still got my cojones, man. As a man with my 10 toes down in the street. And that's why people wild out when 50 Cent troll and he go hard like he go on certain people. Because right now, that man worth $1 billion, he in a whole nother league and he just having fun. And, he living his life. And he ain't saying nothing that ain't already out there because y'all done said it all on social media. So he got to repost it, remix it, and do what 50 do, and he make us laugh. How many of y'all get up in the morning, put it in the comments, how many of y'all get up in the morning, get up throughout the day and go to 50 Cent page to see what 50 talking about? I got to raise my hand to that. Because he is, and even the other one, I used to watch him, but he fell off. It's not to disrespect him, but he fell off. Snoop Dogg used to have a crazy funny page, and Funkmaster Flex, and Funk Flex, my man. But I haven't seen nothing, that humor that they normally have, come up, or maybe they still putting it up, or maybe it's not as humorous, or maybe 50's just his content is just out the water. Put in the comments who you think got the best, the best content other than 50 Cent, because we know 50 in the league by himself. You know what I mean? So y'all let me know that. Let me play this video and finish this, man.
So now here we are trying to think about other people who would do it. You know what I'm saying?
told him I'd do the verses with him if I lost you when I gave you the commentary. So T.I. is saying that, you know, 50 ain't want to jump out there with it. We're going to have somebody else, another celebrity, jump out there and say 50 need to take the fade. But 50 already said what he said when he put out the video, letting him know that he did the Crime Stopper. So therefore, we ain't got no business dealing. But I can see why 50's saying that, because T.I. is from the same hood that he's from right here in America. The Toll brothers from way over there. You don't know nothing about that, so you're keeping that over there. You don't know what it is. You think that's what it is, put it in the comments. You think it's right to do that, put it in the comments. You think it's wrong to do that, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it, because y'all want to talk. Let's talk some real street code, and I'm just giving you all the different angles, not pointing the fingers, not picking no sides, but y'all choose it, because like I said, my grandson right now, if he see a crime, he better call, you know, T.I.'s crime. Go call T.I. I'll tell my grandson, go call T.I. because he's going to go to college and be a normal businessman. And if he break the law, then his ass need to get locked up. God forbid. But if he see a crime, then he got every right to get the next person locked up, because that makes him and his sister and his mother and his grandmother safer. So I'm definitely not sitting there saying, don't call this, and I'm, you know, and I'm, you know, I hate snitches and all of that, though. I don't even think about y'all. But I have to let the people know how this game works so that they know not to get involved in this, that it's not worth it.
Damn.
We mentioned Wayne, and Wayne wouldn't be bad.
The way he said it, not joking, not laughing, he said it like he already sent the invoice. Shannon Sharp probably leaned back like, wait, you said who? Ocho Cinco sitting there like, yeah, this finna go viral. Now, T.I. was feeling himself. He basically said if Verzuz was about catalogs, he not scared of nobody. And 50 is one of those ones he want to see. That's like walking into the gym and saying, I want the strongest dude, but after warm-ups. And don't get it twisted. T.I. got hits. But the way he said it, this wasn't a friendly phase. This was put me in the game, coach.
And that's what 50 Cent is saying. We not in the same game, coach. That's what 50 is saying by that response, putting up that Crime Stoppers. He don't need to say no whole bunch. It's there. It's there. Y'all want a person to say this and that so you can have something to run with and make more content and create and create it. If you're from the street, you know what a man is saying. 50 ain't, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. He put up how he felt, and he ain't had to say it. Now, let me ride. Let me ride and take you on one, Rob. I'm going to take you on one. I got to watch the way I say this because this is YouTube, but I'm on one right now. We in Lewisburg, right? So we in Lewisburg back in 1992. He's an old Italian dude that, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that he didn't like, right? So, you know, he was a weak dude. He knew he couldn't win nothing, you know? So what he did was he got with all the black dudes that he knew was going out on the visit, that was scoring, that was bringing in that thing, you know what I mean? Bringing a little weed to smoke or whatever. And he went and told them, yo, go get me some rat. You know what I mean? You already know. You know what I mean? Some rat. You know, the little pellets that gets rid of them, right? So he used to pay people to bring in rat in order to eliminate the people that he was beefing with when we was busy getting knives, going toe-to-toe, one-on-one, man-to-man to fight for what we felt was wrong. But this man sat back and said, bottom line is, as long as I eliminate you, you know, I won the battle. I don't have to do it the way you want to do it, because this is war. We choose our weapons, and my weapons of choice is rat. I hope that didn't go over your head. I tried to tone it down so YouTube get it. Let's get back to that, but that's where we at right now. You know what I mean? 50 saying, I ain't messing with you. You know what I mean? We ain't doing no business. And, you know, T.I. didn't expect that. Because being that 50 normally don't say nothing bad about him, he thought, oh, he cool. And, you know, over 30 years now that this Crime Stoppers thing started, you know, T.I. felt like everybody forgot about that. Ain't nobody thinking about that no more. Nobody even look at me like that no more. Once in a while, some paperwork stuff come up and then it comes back down. Then there's even a video, I ain't had time to, you know, pull it up, but there's a video where T.I. is telling Gunna, yo, you know, he said Gunna called him right before he did it or something like that, or he wished he would have called him right before he decided to go in the courtroom and tell, because then he would have let him know that if he did do that and go in the courtroom, that this is the repercussions he was going to get, which means it's the same repercussions he got when he went up there and went in the courtroom, did what he did, and chose to be the face of Crime Stoppers for Atlanta. So in other words, T.I. saying, yo, I could have schooled him better how to hide that he was gonna. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I just keep it too real for you, because it's a gangster channel. This ain't to disrespect nobody, man. But I gotta let them know what time it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tip said he want 50. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
So let me ask you a question. So it's 20. So it's 20 songs.
Yeah.
It's 20 songs. So let me ask you a question. So is it all your songs, or can it be something that you were featured on?
I mean, I believe it could be anything that you had something to do with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But I ain't tripping. You can.
T.I. might be
Yo, T.I. had some fire too back in the day. We know 50 had the fire, but T.I. did have the South on lock. I was locked up out west back then, and I'm talking about especially during the time when he had, hey, you know, Little John and all them out there, and the Yin Yang twins. And I mean, they were doing their thing, and Usher was running around with Diddy that everybody's trying to forget or bring up. But during that time, you know what I mean? In the 90s, man, yo, come on, son. You know, let's ride it. Early 2000s, that was.
calling him out for that get back the last time he was performing in NYC. T.I. brought out Jay-Z, Diddy, and Kanye, and 50 Cent.
Yo, could you believe that? T.I. brought out all the 50s, you know, ops, because he don't like Diddy, because he feel that Diddy's a he cipher, monkey cipher, and a pedo. And he don't like Jay-Z because he feel like he's the pedo and whatever other reasons he got with him. But T.I., and then T.I. also, you know, got down with Crime Stoppers after he was a thorough gangster, making nothing but gangster hit for the gangsters in the streets and was labeled the king of the South. And now you ain't right. And you bring these two dudes that I see ain't right, and then you calling me to come up there. That's why you go see 50 Cent running circles around. I'm like, man, you dudes is clowns. But you be doing anything with y'all. So he's laughing at him like, y'all, you know, like y'all the circus. That's how 50 laughing at him when he run. I'm gonna tell you how I see it, man. You know what I mean? To disrespect him, just tell you how a real nigga from street see it. 50 running circle around, tapping his chest, and he let never, like, I wouldn't even do nothing with you clowns. You know what I mean? I'm just saying what it is, man.
Cent ran on stage and ran laps around all of them, basically saying he's selling more than everybody.
Stupid! Big homie! New York City, stand up! King of the South, King of New York, what's happening? Hey, but wait a minute.
Rock is in the building, baby.
You already know. Let these have it.
I
Where
said
my
the
nigga-
Rock is in the building.
Where my at? What's happening? We got, hey.
You can get down,
This
nigga.
a
You
re-
can get down. It's all
this
good.
a
Come
real
on in. You
special
wanna get-
moment, ain't
Come on,
it?
you can get something.
This a real special moment,
Let's
ain't
go.
It's drama. People suing me. I'm on TV talking like a yeah, and they ain't tell me nothing. Kanye West, Rockefeller.
You know, they just talking, but I'm just gonna narrate what the video is. Matter of fact, let me put it up on the big screen real quick so you can see it on the big screen. I'm gonna get my ass out the way. You know what I mean? All right, there it is. You know, that's you go. This is the one where 50 was saying that Diddy smacked Jay-Z on the hind parts. You know, look at 50 say, never, I ain't doing nothing with these clowns. I'm the man. I'm not even in these dudes' league. These dudes don't even exist to me. And the three of them, look at Diddy. They all over there hyping themselves up and 50 in the cut, looking at him like, you done lost your mind.
Mean, no petty caption, and when 50 is quiet, that's worse. That's like texting your ex, we need to talk, and they have you on red for 3 days. Silence is violence. Now, once that nightcap clip hit the internet, it was a war zone. People started yelling, T.I. got hits, 50 got anthem, ATL versus NYC, Trap versus G-Unit. Now, you know T.I. got hits. He gonna pull up what you know about that, live your life, and bring them out. Respect, that's solid. But when 50 comes out with In the Club, man, that might be gang. You don't even need 19 more songs, just loop it. When Many Men plays, everybody in the comments starts talking about betrayal, trauma, and fake friends. That's not music, that's therapy. Let's keep it a buck though. 50 don't feel like he need verses. In his head, verse.
Nah, it ain't so much. We know he don't need verses. 50 the man, he in a whole nother league. You know what I mean? But he's basically saying, man, this dude done helped start Crime Stoppers when he was on the street acting like a gangster, and now he's in the industry, a grandfather with a beautiful grandchild and a son he's trying to straighten up, but he's still a rat bastard to me. That's what 50 saying, not me. If I'm wrong, 50 reach out, let me know, man. But basically, 50 saying, I'm not going to, what would I look like battling or competing with a rat? And a rat that don't even get as much cheese as me. 50 made a powerful statement when he did that, man. And if y'all think 50 Cent need to say anything else, y'all got life 100% twisted, just so you understand.
This is like, y'all forgot about me, let me remind you. 50 things people never forgot. Plus he petty, and Verzuz requires peace. 50 don't want to sit next to Tip smiling. He want to crack jokes, disrespect your sneakers, and leave early. I'm thinking about this for
I didn't want to sit next to him because he ciphered truth. That what I got from the video that he dropped was his response to him inviting him out to get on the joint. 50 don't have to say a lot. Like I said, I just told you about my man that wanted to rap in the joint in order to get rid of his enemies when everybody else was using knives. So because dudes want to act cool, get on the mic and act like they this and then sneak, tell on somebody, work with the police as undercover informants to get their ops off the streets, and so they can't sell as much records as them if they go to jail for a minute. Look how they keep bothering that young in honeycomb Brazy. Every time you turn around, he getting caught up in a situation that the people around him was supposed to deal with, because he's the breadwinner. And there's a such thing as protect the connect. It's always protect the connect. I don't know what it is going on out here now, but that's what it was back then. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, after his T.I.'s Atlanta weapons case, the state made a move, right? Not to destroy him, not to do none of that, right? But the long game. Let's talk about the long game. Forget all that crap, right? Let's get this mic right. Talk about the long game, right? Now, how the message slowly shifted. This is how the message slowly shifted from stop snitching to Crime Stoppers. All right. Over time, the narrative changed. And every day, y'all still trying to change the narrative. Calling, became doing the right thing, not snitching anymore. Even for guys that's still breaking the law. You're doing the right thing. Let me buy an ounce of weed. But you did the right thing calling the police when you seen dude get robbed after, leaving the club. You did the right thing. No, you snitched. Because you're out there selling weed, you're part of the street, so that means you snitch. Silence became protecting criminals. That's the way they look at it. Now, Crime Stoppers ads everywhere. Schools, TV, radio, hip-hop influence, of course, T.I. The youth grew up under a different moral framing, not street code, not law code, but convenience code. What's convenient for you? If it's convenient for you to tell and not go to jail and not go away from your family, then you do that. You know what I mean? That's how they feel. When on the street, we say under no circumstances we do that. You think the rules were always this way, the way the majority is moving with it. But let's fast forward to 2026 so I can get up out of here, right? Why telling feels normal now? Y'all put in the comments, right? Put in the comments, why do you think telling feels normal now? Put in the comment why you think telling feels normal now. Today, people tell and still walk free. I remember back in my days, dudes used to tell and still get life in jail. I know rat bastards that's still in jail. Got told. Because they try to tell and then try to think about it after the fact, say, man, I shouldn't have said this, shouldn't have said that. Then he going in, they try and, mess up the case like Little Woody did, and then they give him life. If that was the feds, Little Woody did what he did, Little Woody would have wound up getting a whole new charge, been on an indictment. They would have put him in a jumpsuit, sat his ass right there in the courtroom with Young Thug, and would have sent him up the river. But it's the state, so they allowed them to do what they do, right? No hiding, right? Remember, right? We're talking about why it feels normal. Because like I said, today people tell and still walk free. No hiding, no exile, no consequences. A person tell on you in your face and say, yo, I told the police that, you broke the red light. Dog, what did that have to do with the police? How did you ever see the police to do that? No, I called them because T.I. gave me the, the Crime Stoppers tips number. The 404 number. Nah, nigga, I don't know no 404 number. But that's where that go. The culture adjusted, not overnight, right? But generation by generation, right? Now we see public corporation and no social penalty attached, meaning it's no penalty. I'm not encouraging anything. I'm just telling you what it is. that there's no penalty for doing what you do, right? Now, jewels for the youth. Normalization doesn't mean rightness. It just means repetition. Remember that, right? Now, check it out. Modern examples, right? Let's talk about some modern examples. Why the youth are confused. You see people like Gunna still successful, still visible, still accepted, and he told. So then they like, man, if he could do it, I could do it, you know? And that's that. You hear names like Little Woody in the street conversations, and nobody flinches anymore. Like, oh, he's a rat. Nah, Woody's funny. You know, and this is all they say. That I love Little Woody. I see Little Woody walk through the mall and everybody loved them down there. So that lets you know that they done normalize, you know, telling, you know. Even family members of known cases move untouched. I mean, it don't matter how big the person is you tell on, the family member's still moving untouched. Back then, you had to get your whole family out. When they relocated somebody back then, they relocated the whole dang family. You know what I mean? Now, jewel for the youth, right? Jewel for the youth, right? The streets don't look the same, but the sentences still do. Meaning you're still getting life. You're still getting life for that, right? The real danger, right? This the real danger of that. Mixing street life with civilian rules, right? And T.I.'s a civilian now. That's why he's doing the Crime Stoppers. You know what I mean? Let's give him a round of applause for that. Y'all feel he deserve a round of applause for that? Give him a round of applause for that. You know? He don't crossed over, but that means you're a civilian now, so you don't have a voice in the street world anymore. And you shouldn't want a voice if you crossed over because you have your grandkids to look up to you now. So I'm just keeping it 100 where it's at, right? The real danger, mixing street life with civilian rules. Here's the trap. People want street money with civilian exits. That means they want to go out there and break the law, get street money, and then they want to, you know, go out ratting, you know, or cooperating or helping for the civilians. The civilian can afford to tell because they're not out there trying to get no money off the street breaking the law. That combo never existed before. Streets were built on silence and consequences. That means people see things and keep their mouth shut because they knew the consequences. And what they said, snitches get stitches. Remember that? Now, streets were built on silence and consequences. The law is built on cooperation and immunity. Immunity means you tell every damn thing you know and we ain't gonna do a damn thing to you, right? Mixing them creates confusion, and confusion creates bodies or bids. Meaning either you die or you go to jail when you start talking about mixing the two, because it's not gonna turn out, you know, good for you, you know? But now, the jewel for the youth. Pick the lane before the pressure hits you. Pick the lane of being a civilian before the pressure of thinking you built for the street hit you, and then you got to go do Crime Stoppers, right? Now, this is my OG message, right? This ain't about sides. I'm not picking sides. I just wanted to give you both sides. This ain't snitching versus solid. This is choices versus consequences. If you want street code, accept street outcome. If you want civilian protection, live a civilian life. What breaks people is trying to live both. And that's what the problem is. Jewel for the youth. Got to get a jewel, because this is all about the youth. Huh? The streets don't forgive confusion, and prison don't care about explanations. So you can't say, oh, I only told on my dead friend, my dead cousin, my this, my dad. I only told on my brother because he's dead. They asked me to tell on my brother after he died and tell them what happened with my organization. And they was going to give me immunity too. And I told them I'll die in here before I do that. But that's just me. But that's because I was etched in the street, and I don't want you etched in the street like that. I took 3,500 hours of psychological training to find out why my head was screwed up, why I couldn't tell on my dead brother. Because we riding right. Like I said before, my mother even got house invasion, tied up, kidnapped in the house. I'm all the way in New York. They called me New York. You know, when they found them, they broke her loose and they all started yelling, call the police. My mother said, you was a nut. Don't call no police in my house. And they like, but you was tied up, you was robbed. Said, don't call no police, call my son. Because she knew the consequences to my actions might trickle down on her. And I knew that as well. But those are choices that we made. That's why I'm letting y'all know the real consequences to these choices that you about to make or you are making. I had to deal with that myself. How could I call the police to help me deal with somebody that pistol whipped and tied up my mother, and I'm sitting here breaking the law every damn day? The house that they tied her up in was bought with illegal drug money. So somebody explain this to me. I mean, maybe I'm just being too real for y'all, man. Make sure you share this video. And the Cash App right there on the screen, man. I don't care what it is. Donate to the system. Show that you recognize and respect that the game is to be sold, not told. And right now, I just choose to bless you. Just like how, you know, the government say it's not snitching, it's cooperating. Just like they say, he's not a garbage man, he's a sanitation engineer. Nah, nigga, empty garbage. What do you mean sanitation engineer? But y'all like certain names to make you feel better about the things you do when you just make your choices and you stand on them, and that's that. Now, what breaks people is trying to play both sides, like I said, right? Now, I ain't gonna find no juke. I know y'all tired of me up here, right? Why am I saying this to you, right? I'm not here to shame anyone. I'm not here to glorify nothing that I did in the past, because I feel I was the biggest nut, not one of the biggest. I was the biggest nut for my choices, because all those consequences that I had to deal with and I toughed it out and dealt with, I could have avoided it. I had chances and choices to avoid it. That's why I'm telling you to avoid it, you know? Now, I'm not here to pick heroes or villains. So I'm not saying that 50 is a hero and T.I. is a villain because he did the Crime Stoppers. I'm not here to pick it. I just want you to know what happened. That's why I have both of them up on the screen. I'm here because I watched debates, right? I watched decades get erased. I watched decades of the street code that I have many brothers sitting in prison now for. Matter of fact, let me plug it now, man. This my man, Jimmy Fingers. He been in 35 years. Support his book. Y'all don't want to send me a Cash App? Buy my man's book called Miracle, right? What's the title of it? Miracle for Men. You know, it's a redemption story. This is Jimmy Fingers from the Poison Clan. His writer's name is Lee Hands, L-E-H-A-N-Z. Make sure you cop this book, right? He got 35 years in, right? Now here go my other brother right here, Michael Wood. Michael Wood been in 50 years. Cop Michael Wood's book. He been in 50 years. Y'all sitting here, tight pocket Willie. You know what I mean? Don't want to send a dude Cash App for giving you all these jewels. Cop my brother's books, man. You know, my man did time with everybody from Barry Silverstein to Matula Shakur, you know, the trade bombers. Look, Barry Mills. Look, Juan Ramon Mata. He got pictures in the book showing you all the people. Been in here 50 years, man. 50 years, and came in when he was 17. All right? I don't want this to be you, but those are my comrades. Cop their book, and you know you can get my book, A Roar in Harlem, at roarinharlem.com, and I'm going to put my number up on the screen, because if anybody feel that I said anything that was inappropriate, disrespectful, because that's not what this show is about. It's just about giving the real. So if T.I. want to call, 50 want to call, whoever felt I said something wrong, you know what I mean? If I feel that if you could tell me that what I said was wrong and I agree with it, I would more than be honored to come up here and apologize and clean it up. But I'm just giving you both sides of it. And like I said, 50 watching this, I know he's going to see it. You know, bottom line, when he put that joint up about that Crime Stoppers, y'all playing games like this is a back and forth tennis. 50 checkmated him. He said, dog, you're a rat. What I look like getting on a Verzuz with you? And T.I. got fire. You know he got fire. But T.I. not in 50 Cent league no more after he done did all that, man. And like I said, this ain't to pick sides, ain't to disrespect nobody or none of that, right? So now I'm here because, like I said, I watched decades, you know, get erased over one decision made under pressure. One decision made under pressure. And you lose decades. I mean, listen, I know dudes that's locked up doing life right now for less than a second worth of crime. The crime was less than a second. Because he pulled the trigger. Because he was angry. He was in his emotions. Now, I'm here because, like I said, the game changed, but the cages stayed the same. The game changed, but the cages, meaning the cells that they're going to keep you in, stayed the same. Because that's why I said, make sure you go cop my brother's books, man. You know what I mean? Support the brothers. Michael Ward, this is what it looked like. It's on Amazon. Right? And my man, Jimmy Fingers. You know, League Hands. Make sure you cop the homies' books, man. And like I said, my joint at roaringharlem.com. Right? Now, the game changed, but the cages stayed the same, right? I mean, they still got them cells for you. I mean, listen, I know dudes that put their name in the cell, they go home 3 years later, they come back, they wind up in the same cell, or you in that cell, and they telling you, yo, you in cell 314? Yeah, look on the wall right over the sink. You're going to see my name. I'm Little Poncho. And you proud of that, Little Poncho? And this is what I'm trying to prevent y'all from being proud of, right? Now, the final jewel, I'm getting last one. I know y'all tired. I done said that 100 times. But the final jewel, if you don't want prison rules, don't sign up for the streets. If you don't want prison rules, do not sign up for the streets. And that's the way that goes. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel at Unique Mecca Audio, my man Real Boss TTTV, and Unique Mecca Audio, Prison Stories, and Mecca Audio TV. But Real Boss TTTV, y'all, he got the banging mixes where if you just chilling out with your lady, or you riding down the street, or you out on the highway. Real Boss TTTV. Check out my man. Been on here long enough. I'm tired, man.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend the ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can get back to the